All right, guys, so today we're talking about this fuzz pedal. This is the Zo from Reeves Electro. Zo basically means it's a zonk machine, and I think this is styled after the Zonk 2, which was a later iteration that had 2 transistors instead of 3. And as with all or most Reeves Electro pedals, it's a silicon transistor-based pedal, not a germanium one, which I think is a really smart decision on his side. Probably easier to find parts, but also keep the price down because you're not sorting through so many parts to find the right ones. And this pedal always sells out in seconds. In fact, all of his pedals do. So many times he releases a batch, which is about once or twice a month of his pedals. They sell out in 30 seconds, 60 seconds. It's hard to get hold of. So I was lucky when my friend Stuart from Sun Bear Pickups lent me this, and on seeing how much I've been enjoying it, he's actually decided to gift it to me, which is amazing. Yeah, let's dive in. So a zonk machine came around in the sort of mid-60s, and it's a variant of the Mark I tone bender. They originally had a swell control. I'm not sure what the second control was called. Maybe drift, maybe fuzz. But swell is basically your volume. Drift, it's like a fuzz control, but not exactly. You'll see the character of the whole thing changes a little bit as you go. And then we have this one here, which is like a texture control. And again, it's not a simple control. It sort of ups the gain and the level, as well as changing from slightly thinner to more textured, and it's hard to explain. So I think one of the reasons that Marcus's pedals sell out so quickly is the allure of his actual making ability. These pedals are completely point-to-point wired. He has some of the most artistic looking pedals, from painting the insides various colors. I love the fact this one is pink. That suits me well. These are all like silk screened and etched and acid etched himself. Comes up with his own designs. But just look at the work in here. So he picks these really cool parts, and you know, the silicon transistors in here are pretty sought after and rare. I think he's managed to find some old batches of things, which is getting harder and harder. But to get one of Marcus's pedals is like buying a bit of artwork, really. They're just stunning. And as I said, he makes 10 or 20 pedals of, you know, he's got like 10 different designs. So the Zo might come around every 3-4 months, and you get a batch of 10 coming out or whatever. But they normally launch on a Saturday or Sunday night. And one time his website completely broke down. So you can see how popular they are. So what I really like about this pedal in terms of playing, because, you know, it's all well and good that it looks amazing inside, it looks fantastic, you know, the whole thing is built really well. But what I like about this pedal is that texture thing. If you heard in the opening sort of little demo, and then the one with the Strat, where I was also using a rotary pedal, it has this slightly broken feel and sound to it, but at the same time it has sustain. And what I found before with pedals that break up in this sort of way is that you lose all feeling of dynamic and sort of playability with it. With this one, you absolutely don't. So you're able to sustain as you wish, and just have those dynamics that you normally do. If you hit harder, it swells and blooms, and if you hit more gently, it cleans up a lot. And I'm finding that more and more with these sort of handmade, hand-wired pedals, and sort of these pedals that are in that sort of slightly higher price bracket where they're released in limited numbers. I know that sounds like sort of marketing stuff, but really these guys are testing every single little part and tweaking their designs until they can get that exact playability that they're looking for. This isn't just, you know, copying the original design in sort of a cheaper way and coming out with the pedal as quickly as possible to sell thousands of units. You know, in a year, I think Marcus might sell 20 or 30 of these Zoes amongst, you know, the other 7 or 8 or 10 designs that he does. So each one is made and tested by him. And so it plays absolutely beautifully. Okay, so we get to that part of a pedal demo that I'm never sure what to do with, because I think you want to see how it works with the knobs in different positions. I just don't know how interesting that is to people. I sometimes find it interesting in other people's videos if I'm actually looking to buy it, but if I'm just looking out of interest, then maybe that's where I switch off. So if that's what happens, then fair enough. But I think a pedal demo has to have a bit of this stuff in it for anyone who's interested, or if you're actually looking to buy it, or if you've got one and you're not quite getting on with it, maybe you find something here that interests you. I don't do a lot of straight up pedal demos for this very reason, but let me know in the comments, do you find this interesting, this part of the video? And if so, maybe I'll do more pedal demos and put a bit more pizzazz into this part, maybe find a clever way of doing it. But anyway, here it is, a few minutes of tweaking and hearing the sounds. So I think what I saw there and what I felt when I was playing was, no matter where the controls are, it's incredibly dynamic between rolling your guitar volume up and down, between using your fingers or the pick, the style that you're going to play in. So you can actually set this pedal pretty hot, but even without setting it hot, has a lot of uses just to change the texture. If you wanted to use an overdrive with it, to push it a bit further or boost it, you know, there's all sorts of interesting things you could do with it, which I think I found with maybe more mass-produced types of this pedal that it's harder to do. They just sort of have an on with a lot going on and a lot of sound and noise, but not a lot of sort of texture and dynamics like this one has. So I think that's why this pedal is fantastic, sells out really quickly, highly sought after. The other thing being that a lot of small producers make small batches of zonk machines in the old big blue sort of wedge case thing, which looks really cool. You know, like Doyle Bramall made that really popular. But this fits on a normal pedal board. It's a normal size pedal, and it's probably, you know, maybe half the price of those sorts of things, or at least a couple of £100 cheaper. So, you know, there's lots of benefits to having the standard size case. And I don't think you'd ever have trouble moving this on. It's so highly sought after. If one comes up on the market, it goes straight away. So if you see one and you're interested, I'd highly recommend it. If you enjoy this sort of video, please subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot, and it helps me to make bigger and better content. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Altogether, I would just say the Reeves ZO is something that I won't be getting rid of it because my mate has given it to me as a gift, but I wouldn't have anyway if I'd bought it myself. It's constantly down on the floor here where I have pedals, amongst just the 3 or 4 pedals that I use frequently. So really loving it. Anyway, see you next time.